So hello everyone, welcome to PSGL Season 24 F2 Round 12 here at Japan. I am yet again filling in this week for Lordy. Probably know my name by now, I'm Jamie2905. And like last night, if you were here, in a free stream last night, yeah, my internet's still a bit dodgy, so we are going to have to do with lowered quality again for now. Now we'll report the issues that my internet has to my parents, so they can try and do something about it, hopefully. Because to be honest, this is new internet, but it is absolutely terrible. As we already have times coming in. Got Forbes on poll right now. I don't think notifications went out either because YouTube's a bit broken as well at the minute. So that really helps. But if there is anyone in the chat, hello Big Sears. If there's anyone in the chat that would like to join, please do say so, because I also need a backup if something does go wrong on my internet and I do lag out. So I did lag out on the last lap last week as well at in F2, as Alfie is off the track and he is racing the Red Bull. That could have been dangerous. But, yeah, I haven't seen what the safety car is like around this track, but it looks like softs are the way to go so far, understandably. So Forbes has set, well, he's set the foundation to the pace so far at 27.6, but that will probably get quicker and quicker as the session goes on. On board with Paco, there's a very annoying rev glitch. Why have they? People talk about the safety car not being patched. Why is that not being bloody patched? The bloody rev glitch, it gives you a year's coronavirus. And it looks like the comments are also not working on PS4. Good thing I don't have them on the side. Everything's gone wrong. Anything that could possibly go wrong is going wrong right now. So Ollie Flammel is the only one on a lap other than his teammate Toxic Tomato and Raikkonen. We're actually going to go aboard Tomato. I need to get the laps on though. So as we come down this curvy can I call it straight if it's curvy? I think I can. As Toxic Tomato comes around the 130-yard corner now into the last chicane. I did see he was quickest there in the second sector on the mini-map. But as Toxic Tomato comes up to the line, he's going to be a 1:27.5, puts him pole by a 10th. Well, 700ths of a second to Forbes. And I've got to say, Forbes is one of the most improved drivers over the past season. Especially in last season when he was with these, well, some of these guys in left, other than Black Felix. But other than that, and Toxic Tomato as well actually, other than that, they've all just left. I think it's incredible what league racing in this game has really done to the community. So the two McLarens are the only drivers other than Raikkonen and Skeven who are actually able to set laps, not two so far. Thomas is out. Didn't see what happened to him. Mr. Dutch Tricks is on a lap. And I know this man from a different league. I may know which league it is. Don't want to say just in case. I'm not gonna, yeah, don't know why I decided to go on board Tomato there. He was close to finishing a lap. Black Phoenix is close to finishing a lap. Before last week, I literally haven't said that name since last season's F3, so let's see what Mr. Black Phoenix can do as he comes to the line. Only 7th. Remember, he started 10th and I believe won last week, so which actually gives me the thought, does someone have the chance to win the title this week? And if so, who? Right, so Black Phoenix is leading the championship by 18 points to CC Brain, 19 to Toxic Tomato, who actually won last week, my apologies. Greeny is in 4th, but Mr. Luke Green is not in attendance tonight, so that is his championship done. And dusted, depending on whether or not, of course, that. Actually, I remember that I commentated on Canada, didn't I? Because I remember that was a race where Leroy intentionally crashed into someone, got himself banned. See how the flags in McLaren going slow. It would be Wentink. Yeah, there's some new names in here that weren't here last week, like Wentink, Luke. I don't think I've ever heard of this guy before, but he seems new. There are 2 new guys, and Forbes smashes, obliterates, and destroys Toxic Tomato's pole time by 0.3 of a second. It's Wheel. He had a fairly strong performance last week, aided by that one safety car. Oh no, that Renault Alfie nearly didn't see Wheel come into the pits as he took the old pit entry they used back in the 90s, and Alfie nearly smashed into that Williams. As I was saying, Wheel had a strong performance last time out in Singapore, of course aided by that safety car, or the strategy, but remember he got spun out on the first lap, and from the back actually ended up on the podium at the end of it all. So yeah, he was definitely one of the drivers of the day last week. So who's close to finishing one right now? It's Friday, and the first sector is Tico. He's off, he's on in that. There is also a Renault following him, but that's Forbes said he is also on an in-lap. Haas behind them, that's Paco. And he's also on an in-lap, for goodness sake. Why are they all do their laps all at one? Raikkonen, third. I don't think he's, where is he currently in the championship? Raikkonen is... oh, he's 6th, so not really much of a surprise. One at Hungary, he's just he didn't have a strong performance last time out in Singapore, and didn't really give me an impression of him. So much as one quickest there, that was Forbes, right? He was in the pits anyway. Luke is slow through Spoon. Ollie Flavel's just a tad bit quicker than his last lap. Anyway, let's see what he can do. It is good. A 127.8. And that puts him 5th position. Ollie Flavel is currently 8th in the standings, so he wants to. He would want to get some points at the end of the season. No, it's pretty close down there between Josh, Ollie, Wommer. Of course, Ollie can get ahead of Josh tonight. Josh is not in attendance, just like Luke Green. Don't panic, I'm here. JP Greenwood is always here, especially when I'm around, it seems. So we have been treated to a fairly average qualifying. Of course, unfortunately, Jack Aiken did get released from the Renault Driver Academy today. So that will raise some questions on whether he'll be on the F2 grid next year. I hope he is. He's a good driver. Just realised my stream on my phone was a little bit behind there. So, yeah, I don't really want to go into YouTube and watch the stream right now because I think that's the cause of all this internet issues. Well, I know it's slow, but alongside that, stream playing in the background isn't really doing it any good. You know, it's a bit overflowing, especially with this internet. So no one, literally no one, is on a lap. What am I supposed to do here? I wonder if JP Greenwood wants to get himself in the booth. Has he still got a mic? So I know it's been a while since he's commentated on a PSGL race. Interesting to see him back in the booth again, wouldn't it? The reason why I do want to commentate as well is just in case the stream lags out. I've got someone there to have a backup stream or record the race, etc. We got one on a lap. Skeeden's just started one. I guess we're going to go on board with him for now. Through the fast and flowing first sector, there's sector 3 yellows. And from what I can see on the mini-map, that was for a slow Ferrari. No one spun or crashed. Oh, speaking of spun and crashed, Skeeven has just pinned himself into the wall and got wing damage. That means that his run is over. Possibly his qualifying. We're going to go more with Guile. You know, someone that always comes out of... Well, I say always, he's only done 2 races in PSGL this season, but... It seems kind of blue. He did in Singapore last week. All good things come to those who wait. And for some people, they reckon that JP has said a little bit too much there, but... We've got to keep that quiet for now, and there's yellow flags literally everywhere, and there's a massive train of cars all within each other in the first sector. It's not really what you want in the qualifying run, is it? The yellow flags are now gone away. It's Forbes, and it's the other racing point, that'd be Olu, and then Dutch, who's falling a bit behind, giving those guys a little bit of space, and Alfie and... Sorry, that's Forbes and Wenting, okay. So now it's Alfie and Toxic tomorrow. Alright. So Forbes and Wenting are pretty close to each other. Those Renaults are in a lot of traffic right now, and that could give them a little bit of a disadvantage to the rest of the guys who've got clean air. Saying that, not many drivers do. Speaking of clean air, Grill's got somebody who's actually about to come up to the line. There's going to be a second place on the grid for the Frenchman. Maybe this guy, if we see him in F1, could be a bit of a future star. Star on the making. Oh, the game of Paco. Paco has got a penalty for colliding with Luke. And they're actually teammates as well. Oh no. Gunther Steiner is not going to be happy with this, and I know it's a PG stream, but he'll be saying that they look like a bunch of freaking W words right now. Paco is going across the grass without a wing as well. Absolute American disaster, just like the Super Bowl. Bankers. I can get away with that because I didn't say the W. Wentink is out. Have Wentink and Luke started racing in PSGL before? Is this their debut? And if so, that's there's a bit of controversy surrounding Luke's first race. Then, considering Luke's first race, so Luke or Luke, it's a Dutch name, isn't it? He is Dutch. I hope he's Dutch. Yeah, he's Dutch. I don't want to get that wrong, just in case. So I'm guessing his name is Luke. If it is his first race in PSGL, welcome. This is probably what you're going to be in for in the future. Teammates crashing into you. Joking. Some guys are finishing laps, and I'm not even watching him. Toxic Tomato does go quick, but not enough to displace Guil in that front row. Raikkonen has backed off. Where's Dutch? He's coming through 130R right now. Dutch looks like he was up this time. I couldn't catch that, though. Forbes pits. He thinks that pole position is safe. What is the title scenario in F2? I was working it earlier, but I got distracted. Dutch, P6. Pit Matt is backed off, and what can Black Phoenix do as he comes to the line down in 13th, and it's going to be just 12th on the grid. Black Phoenix is more of a race pace guy, though, isn't he? But Black Phoenix, he's the championship leader, so I'll have a look at the championship situation. Is the guy in second place, CC Brain, is currently in 7th, and Toxic Tomato in 3rd, who's only 1 point behind CC, 19 points off Phoenix, is in 3rd. So, here's the scenario. If Black Phoenix wins, he goes on to 102 points. Fast lap 103. 102. CC Brain. Yeah, championship. If Black Phoenix scores, and it scores a win, and oh, they both got penalties. Both Haas drivers got penalties. Why did it just give them a 50-50 warning and get on with it? Instead of giving both penalties to the same collision. Stupid game. And because of that now, they're going to be starting right next to each other at the back. Not exactly what you want when they came together in qualifying. But Black Phoenix, if he wins tonight, he'll go into 102 points. CC Brain will be then, he'd be 34 points behind. So that would mean that if CC Brain was to get second, that will put him on -22. If Black Phoenix wins, he wins the title, basically. If he doesn't finishes second, then that will put him on 98 points. CC wins the race, for example. I gotta include Top Smart in this as well, but CC Brain, if he finishes, well, if he wins the race and Black Phoenix finishes in second, then that will put CC on 84 points, I want to say. Yeah, 84 points, and Black Phoenix will be on 98. So then that would go down to the wire. Toxic Tomato will probably be out of there if he finishes second or lower if that situation happens. But I'll work it out at the end of the race because I think that'll be easier. Might create a little bit of suspense as well. It's a dry race, but Japan is more of an accident-prone track. As Forbes only spins out the first corner. But yeah, it's a pretty tough one to work out when it's three drivers in it, like it is. Not exactly like F3 last season. Black Phoenix, whenever he's in a title fight, always seems to create exciting ones. Maybe he should be moved up to F1 next season, or create a three-way title fight with someone. Coronavirus. Need the tyre graphics, all that stuff, all that juicy good stuff. 4 drivers starting on mediums. Paco, who's already spun off at Dunlop Curve. Thomas, who DNF from qualifying early on. Alfie and Wentink on his debut. Lucas, interestingly, started on a set of softs, and Black Phoenix has also gone onto a set of softs. And so we have the rest of them because they qualified in the top 10. And of course, the rule states, if you qualify in the top 10, the tyre you manage your quickest lap on will be the tyre that you start on. So we've got TTG Forbes alongside Wheel on the front row. Row 2 is Toxic Tomato and Tico. Row 3 is Raikkonen and Dutch. Row 4, CC Braden and Ollie. Row 5, Skeven and Pitmat. Row 6, Black Phoenix and Wentink. Row 7, Alfie and Thomas, 2 ILRT guys. And on the back row, and the 8th row, will be the two houses of Paco and Look. And I also believe that Paco is in Ilotti as well, is he? Or is he not anymore? Anyway, enough about esports teams. Let's focus on the race. This is PSGL, not ILR. Or TTG for that matter. Or TT. So I forgot the name of it. I forgot the name of it, which is usually a good thing. If I'm talking about PSGL. So, as the cars line up, will China be on F1 2020? It depends, really. I think if they cancel it, if they cancel it, say before. Oh, let me do the lights first. I'll answer it. So we've got 5 lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. We've got the best start at the front row. Looks like wheel, but it's not enough of a good launch. And down into turn 1, Forbes will lead, but for how long? There's a car off, and that was Dutch. He got a tag from Mr. Black Phoenix, the championship leader, has come together with Dutch tricks on turn 1. Does that remind you of something? That doesn't bring out any sort of safety car. Alfie is ready up into the points of the start, and Black Phoenix is cruising around at the back. Those tyre temperatures are a big factor around this track. If you spin around, trust me, you're not getting your car back. You're not getting it back. Even though Black Phoenix didn't really spin. Thomas has overtaken Wenting for P11. But other than that little collision at turn 1, it's pretty clean off the line. And now we answer Mr. JP Greenwood's question. Will China be on F1 2020? I was going to say it depends if it gets cancelled before the start of the season. If it gets cancelled before the start of the season, then I don't think it will be on F1 2020. If it gets cancelled, say, during the weekend of Bahrain or Vietnam, even if Vietnam goes ahead, as Wheels battling for the lead, we really should be focusing on it. But, yeah, then I think it'll still be on the game. Wheel going for it at turn 1. Not quite Kimi Räikkönen around the outside, but Forbes is going to try and maintain it. And these cars, going around the outside is pretty easier to do. The Wheel ran into the side of the Renault, and that gave him a poor exit. Now, that's making me wonder if Wheel's on the pad. Now watch the wheel movements. Is he on the pad? No, it's on the wheel. That movement does not look like pad movement. Tico overtook Toxic Tomato. Raikkonen is also on the back of it. We have it as CC and Skeven. They're all on the back of it. There is some Austria kind of train for the lead of the race. Although Forbes is kind of extending that gap just a tiny bit. The top 2 probably are significantly quicker than the rest of them, but their ding-dong battling is not really letting them get away. DRS to play effect in the next lap. DRS in that front straight, it's OP. At least it was before. Forbes, followed by Guile, followed by Mr. Tico. Renault, Williams, Ferrari. Then, Racing Point. No history. Just like Manchester City, no history before 2008. So you literally weren't in the sport before then. In this case, it was 2018. We got Mr. Cherry Tupai, Cameron Anderson in the chat cheering on Mr. CC Brain as his CC Brain's title contenders. One of them is in 4th and one of them is directly after at the back after a collision at turn 1 on lap 1 with Dutch Tricks, and did just have a little bit of a loose rear end there, I'm not sure, but they're all keeping it clean, which is great to see. A safety car could shake things up in terms of people running into the back of other cars, getting penalties for it, because that is actually quite common. to see in league racing, because of course they're not as skilled as the drivers in real life. The drivers in real life, they practice safety car restarts and gassing as well as practicing on the simulator. Guile has got the rev glitch, which is a shame because he's in that lead battle, of course. I'm pretty sure someone got in qualifying, but it wasn't Guile. Alfie's just overtaking someone, I think. I am tired. Ugh. Guile has set the fastest lap. Will he get the run on Forbes down into turn 1? Yes, see what I mean? Had the RS is a bit overpowered, isn't it? But had to back out of it, otherwise he was going to get taken out. And here is he. Nearly got taken out of Forbes' rear right, as it was, never mind. But there's always next lap. He is the quicker car so far compared to Forbes. Everyone's a CC fan. Or the higher ups are. Mr. CC Brave, former F1 driver. Don't know if he won a race in F1, he might have. But there is a possibility maybe of an F1 return in the future, considering how the season has gone. But you just never know. Anyway. Tell you what, Guile was not really. He is not really closing that gap. In fact, it's extending. As they come through the last corner chicane. Mr. Chicane boy. I don't know where I got that from. Gaps come down slightly in that last corner, but it's not enough for a challenge on Forbes into turn 1. Now through the sweeping S's of the first sector. Nobody has DNF from the race, which is always nice to see. So one that competition still left in it for the end of the race, but commentators could have just come into effect, and the next thing you know, we're probably going to see the likes of Ollie Bravo in the wall pit map. Anyone, see what I mean? Wenting, I think, just got loose. By the way, I'm not picking on those drivers because, of course, well, picking on those drivers because they crash a lot. I didn't say that. I just randomly picked their names out of a hat, really. We're going to go and bowl the Toxic Tomato for this battle. The gap is a lot more closer than it was this time last lap between Guile and Forbes. It was 8 tenths, this time it's 4 tenths, and I should imagine Guile will be able to get that move down into turn 1, hopefully this time. Forbes doesn't really go defensive into turn 1. That's what's making it harder, because on the outside you can make it work as long as you've got the room and the pace to do it. That is a horrible engine noise. Here he comes. It's not going to be enough, actually. He lost a lot of time. A lot of time. But interesting to see if he gets it done in the middle sector. When Tico, Pit Matt's overtaking Thomas starts to lag a bit. I love this internet. It's absolute. Jesus Christ, this internet. I need to do something about it. It's honestly horrible. Now the top two rather separated from third and fourth. I say that Guile actually runs a bit wide in the hairpin. That will allow Forbes to get away. What is this flag? So I'm going to turn my computer internet off, see if that does anything. Alright, hopefully that should be better now. What I'm seeing is not. But that's a move around the outside, cutting into the inside. at 130R and the chicane between Raikkonen and Tico, and I think they're having some coming together, but I'm not sure. I don't know where the cars are because this internet is lovely. CC Brain is the one that'll get the... So I don't even know where the cars are, and that's contact, and Tico is off and off and off. Somehow none of them ended up in the wall there. Dutch is just overtaking Paco. Heads to the pits. Just stick on a set of mediums. I should imagine he'll be going to the end. What happened there? He was so slow getting going again. Championship leader, but he's half a lap down. And Tico's picked up a penalty. Maybe a safety car could spice it up a little now if you're a Black Phoenix supporter. He's been nowhere after that first corner collision. And I need to wake up a little, I think, because I'm a bit tired. But there's nothing I can do about it. And the gaps are all spread out now. It's just fine, just watching cars in a straight line. Not really doing anything with each other. Wheel is pretty close, but it would be nice if my L2 would work there and let me go and pull him. Forbes pits. Wow, didn't get to see an overtake for the lead on track. No, overtake's going on though. Thomas and Pit Matt are ding-donging. Where? Where's the aggression? I would have gone for that. Now, they probably know better than I do, but I know for a fact I probably would have gone for that. Yellows. There is some action. It's Wentink and Debutant is off into the wall in the first sector. Just after turn 4, I think. But that's nothing. Does the safety car only work on some tracks? Or VSC for that matter? Watch now, in FP tomorrow there's going to be about 4 safety cars, 2 VSCs. This is CC Brain has passed Wentink, P13. The Wender's wheel make his move and pit. Let's see. And it is going to be this lap, just as I thought in my mind. Toxic Tomato follows him in. Raikkonen's going around for another one. Tico is going to drop in as well as Skeevin. Ollie's gone back round. Alfie is on a medium, so he won't be stopping for a while. Yep. I probably thought he set us off at the end of his pit. At the end of his first stint, and Raikkonen now leads the race. Won't be for long, but as he come out the pit, Wheel and Forbes are still pretty close to each other, but Forbes has just managed to get the undercut. Wheels on fresher tyres, but for now they're going to be colder, because Forbes has had a lap to get those tyres up to speed, and there's a fast lap, and it's Mr. Championship leader, Black Phoenix. But back to the battle. Oh, round goes Paco. He needs to be careful. Actually, Scozzy should be fine, but those... Uh-oh. Uh-oh, this could be bad. This could be really bad. Actually, it's not so bad. But Wheel's still going to make his way past him. And Paco's not giving it up. To the inside. Back to the outside. Switching to the inside it will be. But now this is going to play a big affecting Wheel's challenge for the win, because Paco is not giving this position up, and he's holding him back. Look at him going defensive, even though that he's not even in his race, and it's nearly taken him. Nearly could have taken him out there. Pit Matt and Ollie Pit. Paco has outbroken himself a little bit there, but just about gets away with it because how that corner works. and only now lets him pass as CC Brain starts to make inroads. Forbes has set the fastest lap of the race. Flavel and Pitmat are in and out again. Raikkonen has stayed out for one more lap. Now that's going to cost him a lot of track position. It is so much Welsh internet. I mean, like, my internet was good before I got this new router. It was quite quick, but now it's just gone down the drain. So I wouldn't particularly blame it on Welsh internet. In fact, Irish internet is worse, and I can tell you that from experience because I've raced a lot of Irish lag people. You all know who you are. Mr. QPR Beasts, a site legend, is in the chat, cheering on, you guessed it, CC Brain. He has the whole of the PSGL Hall of Fame, I guess you can say, on it. Well, behind him for this race and for this championship battle in particular. So Black Phoenix is going to stay on 86 points for now, because of course he's not scoring any points. CC Brain currently scoring 3 so far. That only put him on 72 points. Sorry, 71 points. If CC Brain was to, well, really, I was going to say if CC Brain was to be overtaken by Toxic Tomato here, then the championship battle's over. You remember as well, people are still yet to pit. Paco, Alfie, Luke, or Luke rather, Thomas, Raikkonen, all yet to pit. They'll probably promote CC up into 4th or 5th, maybe even 3rd. And that will make it go down to the wire. Imagine how popular it would be for CC Brain to win the title out of Mexico next week. A lot of people just love to see it. You know, I'm just a neutral, so I like to stick to that neutral status because I'm a commentator. I do have a tendency to not like drivers who take me out in my division, so say what you will. This is the closest battle on track right now. Actually, Alfie and Thomas are probably closer because they're going down the straight in a moment or two, and now they are. What is the time, by the way? It is nearly 8 o'clock, as my phone is on 4%, which means my dreaded internet is probably going to be turned back on my computer, which will make everything worse again. Because I can't commentate from my bed, it has to be from my chair. Toxic Tomaro's just overtaking CC Brain. For now, he's actually, well, the championship will actually be going to Black Phoenix, but our guys in the pits right now, so that will, well, Black Phoenix's title will be taken away for the moment. Raikkonen is not far behind this pack of cars. Speaking of Paco is up ahead of him as well. We're only halfway through this race, but I tell you what now, it's getting a tad bit darker in the second sector, most notably coming under the Degnas. Degna 1 and 2, as you can see there's a little bit of cloud cover now coming over Degna 2 as you go under that tunnel where Lewis Hamilton crashed back in 2010, nearly a decade ago now. Mad. Well, 2010 as a whole is a decade ago, but I think in 2010 it is. Wheel's actually back on the back of Forbes now, so who knows, if Paco wasn't there, he'd be ahead of him by now. Wheel has proven all day that he's got the quicker car, the quicker racecraft than Forbes, but just not been able to find that elusive move. But now could be the moment where that all changes and Wheel is in to the effective race lead. And I tell you what, this man could be in F1 next season if the people who do the policemen, so you can imagine that is watching, then you would see that Wheel Looks pretty F1 pace, not gonna lie. So does Forbes, to be honest. Imagine if we saw Forbes go from F3 to F1 in one season, while racing in F2 in between. Mental. Because I remember he was mid-pack in F3 last season. Absolutely mental. Oh, he could be a shot at an F1 seat. Oh, Raikkonen was actually just 100th behind Tico there at one point. Oh, what happened there? He's weaving around. He's weaving around. He's getting temperature into tyres. He's not warmed them up as he would hope to have. Dutch is on the back of Mr. Ollie Flavel. Good recovery drive so far from Dutch, but back to this battle again. Forbes has managed to keep with Wheel throughout the lap and will maybe have a go at him again, but suggesting, yeah, he's not going to go for it. Actually, more ERS there coming down the straight, but he didn't choose to use it. Yellow flag, yellow flag. Is it Alfie? It's Alfie. Will that bring out a VSC maybe? No, it has not, because the green flag is straight back out. But those tyre temps are going to be... well, they're going to be through the roof, aren't they? Although, my tyres maybe don't do that, because I just literally do burnouts as I try to get the car back out of the track again. Where these guys say just turn it, and it seems to stick as the wheel. I'm a pad user, so I do have a wheel, but can't get used to it on F1. It's either a GT Sport or NASCAR. I'm good at a wheel. Pretty quick in NASCAR. Now, before you say, it's not hard to be, but you have really got to get used to it. It's tougher than you think to drive a NASCAR. Even if it's not realistic. Oh, look at that. Dutch is on the back of Ollie. Too late for a switchback. Couldn't think about it. As Dutch goes to the inside, it's an easy move, really. Ollie didn't put any challenge into it. And Mr. Dutch is up into P11. Paco is holding his own. My phone will shut down in 30 seconds because it has no battery. Great news. Absolutely brilliant. Can't wait to use my computer internet, which requires more course usage space, which means that the internet is going to be dog crap again. Yeah, here it goes. Alright, back to the computer. My phone shouldn't be using Wi-Fi while it's off, so it should actually be fine, but you never know. Just don't know. It's not quite 8 o'clock yet, so not quite F1 time, but I also didn't notice that Lickle was also in the chat. Sorry for not noticing that. Yeah, back to the race. Forbes is on the back of Wheel yet again. Well, he's not using the ERS again. Maybe saving it for later on. Could be saving it for those final few laps, actually. Thinking about it. We also got Mr. CRG Blizzard in the chat as well. Probably in the lobby right now, ready to get F1 started. Of course, F1 stream probably... actually, no, Aaron and Big C are doing it tonight, aren't they? So... that would be the replacement that Owen wants. He loves Aaron, really. He loves Aaron. Oh, Alfie's out of control there nearly again. Anyone close to making a move? Sissy's on the back of Alfie. Everyone's favourite driver is on the back of a former F1 driver in Alfie. Raikkonen has picked up a penalty when he's in that close battle between Paco, who's yet to pit. I don't understand how some of these guys' tyres have not gone off the cliff just yet. Like, you got Thomas, you got Alpha, you got Paco, all on 15 lap all mediums. They've been on them since the start of the race and they haven't pitted. Of course, it doesn't matter if you've led a lap or not. It doesn't go towards the points like it does in NASCAR. Meanwhile, CC Brain is through on Alfie, and the CC Brain stand that is just located over there at the last corner is in raptures right now as Alfie goes to the pits, and nearly could have been a bunch of tears there because CC hit that bump, which is so deadly. I haven't mentioned it yet, but there's that deadly bump that caught out a couple of drivers even in real life. Raikkonen is going for the move on Paco. He is through. Thomas yet to pit. Alfie's on a set of softs, which should take him to the end. Softs can go the distance if you pit at the right time. Literally zero. Not even a VSC has been in sight, Jay. To be honest, the race has been quite uneventful in terms of people crashing off. We've had 2 spins and 1 collision, but other than that, it's been pretty... The racing's been good. Of course, with close racing, that could mean a collision. As Steven does the Kamui Kobayashi dive bomb at the hairpin and gets the move done on Paco. I don't understand why these guys don't pit, because they're well off the pace, especially Paco. Just pit. You probably ain't gonna end up scoring points at this rate. But of course, just like in F2 last season, a safety car came out pretty late on in the race, so maybe that's what some of these drivers are hoping for, is a late safety car. Drivers like Alfie, Paco. And there he goes, finally into the pits, but Thomas has stayed up for yet another lap. Incredible. Now Dutch is back up into the points after his lap 1 collision with Black Phoenix, who has... And out goes Luke. Maybe that's the safety car that Paco was hoping for. Oh, he's done in the pits, for goodness sake. That means we're not going to get anything for it. And that's not him coming back out on the track. Actually, no, he is in the pits. He just had to double stack because his teammate was in it as well. Hopefully the car doesn't clear in the pits and he'll actually get out on the track and actually cause a safety car. There he is. You see him. There's a slow car on the racing line. That probably should deploy something as it comes through turn 1. Where is he? Still down there. Still down there. Just waiting for that possible sit. Oh, I thought I saw it there, but it's gone. Yeah, because as you can see, when the driving is clean, so I mean, the new safety car patch is probably the best thing they've ever done to the safety car. It's realistic. It's just people don't think it is because they're the ones crashing out all the time. You know, especially down in the slower leagues. You know, people tend to make more mistakes, not as experienced as maybe some of the drivers at the top, as there's a battle going on between CC and Tico, and Tico is just overtaking CC. But, of course, down in those lower divisions, there are going to be more safety cars because there are more crashes than there are in, say, F1, F2, F3. And that is because the drivers in F1 and F2 and F3 are quicker, they're more experienced, they know how to race side by side better than they do down in those lower divisions. I had no setup and didn't see any point of running further. Fair enough. I don't understand how you don't get any setup. Usually, it'll take you a couple of seconds just to prepare a setup for the race, even if it is about 5 minutes before. Even you could even go and grab a setup from websites online or YouTube while you're in the qualifying session. You don't have to completely back out just to go and get one. Alfie has picked up a penalty while running down in a lonely P13. Um, Thomas is still staying out. He's gonna be in. He's in puncture territory, surely. I'm like he's not the slowest driver in the world in those set of mediums, but surely he's reaching into puncture territory about now. Skeven and Raikkonen. Skeven is past him. I think he just got past him. Mr. TTG Forbes is remaining within a second of Guile as Paco sets the fastest lap of the race. To be fair, he is on the soft compound of tyre. Man only scored about 4 points, I believe, in F1 last season. Pretty disappointing points tally, not going to lie. But I think F1 2018 was his game, and Alfie is off and without a wing. Maybe that. There it is! He's just talking about how these drivers have been performing clean, and that's why we haven't got a safety car. One incident where someone loses a front wing, and there it is. Safety car. Maybe, look, you should have stayed in the race now. Even if you had no setup. The F1 stream, I believe, has just started. Yep. F1 stream has just started, but stay where you are if you're still in the stream. It's about to get tasty. And that is what Thomas was maybe hoping for, that safety car. This is going to help drivers like Black Phoenix, Paco, Alfie. This could spice up something in the championship fight. Because Black Phoenix is now back in this race. Guile is going to be the one controlling the pace. Tico has gone into the pits and sped. CC is also in as well. Remember, these drivers don't lose, well, they only lose about 9 or 10 seconds. And even then, the guys going slowing around them, they probably only lose about 5 in comparison. Catching back up as well. They don't even, they gain time. They gain time pitting, which is mental. They just don't gain positions because some drivers have to stay out. So, CC, Tico, Dutch, Ollie, Black Phoenix and Paco all pit. There's Alfie, well, Alfie's obviously going to pit, he hasn't got to wait. But Black Phoenix, onto a set of softs. Did the Ferrari, but did Dutch have a slower stop there? Because usually if the one Ferrari, in the first Ferrari to get served, and you go back out and your teammate, for example, is coming in not far behind you, usually you have to wait a little bit for the team to get ready for your stop, so maybe that's that to Dutch. But, yeah. It's pretty boring watching the cars go behind the safety car, but it's something you can do, really. You gotta hope that someone runs in the back one and gets a penalty for it, and you have a little bit of a shout about. And if my memory serves me correctly, this is about the same point last season that we had a safety car in this division. I don't know where it is. I should commentate on this division more, because that's where, literally, I've commentated on this race 5 times, I believe. I've commentated on this division 5 times. In 3 of those races, we've had safety cars. 2 of them pre-patch. Yeah, says it all. Safety car nearly lost over the bump there. And Alfie is out. I don't really... has he crashed? I think he's crashed at Dunlop. Now, on F1 2017, you see, the safety car had a tendency for clipping that inside, well, the outside grass there, on the into turn 1, and it would spin out. I had it. Cost me a race win in this 100% race I was doing in Grand Prix mode. Because, yeah, I illegally overtook me, and for some reason, they didn't give didn't give the positions back, and I ended up finishing 3rd. What a fight we're about to witness. None of these top guys pitted, but remember, you still got drivers like Thomas, Tico, CC, Brain. All these guys stopped for softs. These guys are going to be well slower than those guys, which could play out this race. I cannot wait to see how this will turn out, because you've got drivers on 15 lap old mediums versus guys on 1 lap old softs. That can easily go to the end. My goodness. Forbes picks up the penalty. Mr. TTG Forbes picks up a penalty under the safety car. I don't do this often, I just want to check what penalty that was. That was a 3-second one, I think. Maybe let's go back to the stream and check it, actually. That would be a lot easier. Yeah, it was a warning penalty, which is interesting because that's in the safety car. I don't know why you cut corners in the safety car. I don't know how you cut corners in the safety car. But there we go. Nothing I can really say right now. Let's get the allocations out for FP, shall I? While I'm waiting. They are not. Hey, man, so you need to be, you know, get working on those allocations for FP because I want to know what car I'm in for tomorrow. Let's have a little check-in on F1 for a sec, shall we? They just started their qualifying. It's an overcast qualifying. Back to our stream, because you don't want to be joining them when there's a safety car on the track. FP sucks. No, it does not. Pieces of wing has just been chucked about. Whose wing was it? I wasn't watching. Was that Black Phoenix's wing? Oh my god, it was Black Phoenix's wing. Alright then. The Black Phoenix has picked up wing damage. No, he's not. That was someone else. Who was it? Was it the CC? But isn't this equally as controversial? It was not Paco. Who was it? Was it someone at the front that was just getting kicked around by other cars, maybe? Who was that? They got wing damage back there. Wheels going to be fine, of course. He's the blade leader. Forbes is fine. Toxic Tomato's fine. Skeeven's fine. Raikkonen's fine. Thomas is fine. That's who it was. Pit Matt's picked up wing damage under the safety car. And CC Brain almost ran into the back of someone there. Just to say, if I'm in a Red Bull for tomorrow in FP, then I'm going to win the race. Your safety car, that's just going to aim me now, isn't it? So I know the strategy now. But will he take them to the line max Verstappen style? Oh no! Oh well. The race win's done for Forbes. Wheel has gone. Forbes has been left in the dust. And away we go for 3 laps of racing at Suzuka. There's already moves going on. Tico's pulling one on Pit Matt, who has wing damage, remember. Gets it done into turn 1. Will anyone fancy it? Thomas looks like he was going to try and sneak up the inside of Raikkonen. Thomas and Tico, they're going to be ones that are going to be making moves here. Because they're right at the front and they got the quickest tyre going. Pit Matt has fallen right to the back. I think that just shows you how quick how much quicker those set of softs are. Gap to leader, because that's interesting, because Forbes got a 5-second penalty back. Right now, he'd be down in a length behind Black Phoenix. Black Phoenix will be promoted up into the points at this rate. And considering those softs are quicker than those medium guys at the front. I really would think that Thomas would be in the hot seat right now to win the race, considering that he is on the softs. Let's see, is he going to go for the move on the Mercedes of Raikkonen? Not often do you say the Mercedes of Raikkonen. Who picks up a penalty. 5 seconds, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Pit Matt's just fallen off the face of the earth in this race. Now here comes Forbes. Remember, he's got that 5-second penalty. Black Phoenix has carved in that gap. Right now, he's still going to be finishing outside the points, and P11 is Forbes. Plus, as well, he got 3-second penalty from earlier as well, so that pushed him down 13th, actually. Behind everyone else. Yeah, so, well, this is going to be interesting, isn't it? Because usually F2 stays quite close with each other. If you ever look at Austria a couple of weeks back, we saw that on the last lap, without a safety car, everyone was within under a second of the car in front of him in the top 6. And it was like, Alfie, you started P16. Great save by Toxic Tomato. You're saying Alfie, you start P15 and you ended up crossing the line like 3rd or 4th, still won the race. Skeevens down the inside, but remember, these guys are on old mediums compared to these guys on newer softs. Wrong driver. There we go. Oh, look at that one. Tico trying to stick down the inside. There was no room. The top 2 have gone away again. Just like they have done throughout this race. But the chasing pack is still there. And if Wheel has time penalties, whose race could this be? Uh-oh. Thomas, that's a send that Daniel Ricciardo would be proud of, but rather the bars, you'd probably think you'd be Max Verstappen. Oh, around goes Tico. No, he saves it. What a save. And that's Black Phoenix off in the gravel. Pack goes into the pits, so I think they come together. Black Phoenix is going to not finish on the points, and CC Brain in P7 now give him 4 points, but plus 4 versus penalties, that could be 5. That would put him on 74 points, and they'd be 12 points behind coming into Mexico. Toxic Tomato is currently scoring 10 points. He'll be on 77. He'll be the one in 2nd position, one looking to chase down Mr. Black Phoenix as we head into Mexico. Pit Matt's overtaking Paco. A lot of those soft guys tripping over each other, and right now this looks like Wheel's race to lose. Wentink is now up into the points, although just about loses 9th place, I think, to Ollie. Actually, he's got the better straight line speed, let's say straight line speed, it's rather curved, but he has just about got that one done. Back to the front, Thomas is now taking his teammate. Thomas could win this race as long as those guys in ahead of him have penalties. He doesn't, then Thomas could win this race out of completely nothing, despite even having backmarker pace while at the front. Oh, that's free wide through the corner with the big bump on it. And Tico has just about kept his nose in there on Raikkonen as the last lap of the race starts. White flags, as in NASCAR. And Tico, speaking of NASCAR, just pulled a bump and run manoeuvre on Raikkonen, and Black Phoenix has received a 5-second time penalty for corner cutting, and I'm believing that would be the last chicane. That was a bump and run manoeuvre from Tico, and CC Brain has now been promoted up into P6 with possible more points to come. Boy, the title race in Mexico is going to be spiced up. Yellow flags, and there goes Black Phoenix. Speaking of a title race, out he goes. Joining Alfie and Luke on the sidelines, but will be classified considering that he completed 90% of this race, but will it really matter? He wasn't going to score points anyway. Yellow flags, more of them in Sector 2. There's more yellow flags, and I think it's for Ollie Flavel, who's going slow there, and someone was overtaking him. It was Dutch, but he got a poor exit. Which will, there he is, right? So, look at that train. How many... 4 seconds can separate the top 6. It is got that Austria feel to it. Although this time we had a safety car. Penalty is going to play a huge factor here, as Guil, in just his 3rd race in F2, is going to come around the last corner. It's going to be close on penalties to other drivers, but Guil for now will win the Japanese Grand Prix. Forbes crashes across the line. Toxic Tomato picks up 2nd. And because of other people's penalties, Forbes has not fallen down as hard as I thought he would. the order is changing like mad. Guile wins, Toxic Tomato second, Thomas in third, CC Brain in fourth, scores 8 points. Toxic Tomato on 67 points coming into the race, will score 79 points. Put him 7 points behind Black Phoenix going into Mexico. CC Brain scores 8. That will put him on 76 and only 10 points behind Black Phoenix going into Mexico. It's a lot tighter than you would expect it to be. In the end, Tico does finish outside the top 10. Wenting went on to finish 7th in the end. Forbes down to 5th. Skeven finished in 6th. And yeah, the order, as they came across the line, you know what they were. Mr. Guile, bonjour, on the top step of the podium. It's been a long time since we have seen a French driver win an F1, but considering the talent that the French are producing recently in terms of young drivers, that surely should change in the future. In fact, the last French F1 driver to win the race was in 1993 with Alain Prost. Actually, no, sorry, 1995, wasn't it? John O'Lacey. Jeez, I didn't get that one wrong. Guile wins, Toxic Tomato second, Thomas third, CC Brain fourth, Forbes fifth, Skeeden sixth, Wenting seventh, Dutch eighth, Ollie ninth, and Raikkonen rounds off the points in 10th. What a race that was! I'm not gonna do podium interviews. Save my internet for another day. I'm gonna let you all go off and enjoy F1 because it probably will be getting around starting right now. And of course, I got the legendary commentary team of Aaron and Big C in the booth for today. So that is F2 done for this week. Lordy, even though he has not been in the booth for the past 2 weeks, should be back for the finale in Mexico. But if he isn't, you're more likely to see my face or my voice. You don't see my face, but you hear my voice for the championship decider. And I will put championship decider in brackets if I am here next week, because that does reckon a lot of views, and I know from past experience that it does. So yeah, go all enjoy F1. See you all later.